So believe it or not, Apple still has a few more things to fix with the iPhone 14s, and it's crazy because these phones have already been out for a long period of time, and the fact that they're still discovering like random bugs and issues that Apple still hasn't kind of addressed and fixed is honestly kind of strange. Typically I would see this from like some other manufacturers, but Apple is kind of a big company. I mean, they have a ton of money, and I'm surprised that they haven't really been around to fixing some of these issues. Now, the very first thing is the line screen issue that was kind of common with some phones here and there, within the first week or two of launch, but typically those types of issues get fixed. But with the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max, it looks like some people are still claiming that those specific devices are experiencing some like random lines going through the screen when they're rebooting it, when they're turning it on. And it's honestly kind of concerning. You don't want to go ahead and buy a phone and already have it having those types of lines going through the whole entire display of it. So that is probably one of the more important things that Apple needs to fix. But on top of that, there's also another thing that Apple kind of needs to fix with these iPhone 14s as well. And that is actually, believe it or not, with the crash detection software that Apple kind of was highlighting when this phone first came out. So it looks like for the most part, that the iPhone 14's crash detection, so if you're, in some sort of car crash, it looks like that specific thing is still triggering, even though you may not actually be in a specific accident. What it's looking like is that sometimes if it detects, like if a phone falls, if you're on a roller coaster still, different things like that, it still looks like it's still contacting emergency services, even though, you're probably perfectly fine and maybe you've just dropped your phone from a pretty high angle, maybe you were on a roller coaster, things like that. So, personally for me, I understand that it's still kind of a hard thing to kind of go through and, kind of map that out as a, way of not detecting it. But, that's not my job to do. That's Apple's job. So they do kind of have to figure out some, creative ways of going about that. Because you don't want these, dispatchers, from what these articles have stated, to continuously just having to avoid certain crash detection calls, or possibly even, sending people out, like officers to go and check it out when everything's perfectly fine, when there could be a real issue going on. So that's still something Apple needs to kind of address here too and kind of fix. Again, they're just going to have to take their time, I guess, but again, they shouldn't have released a feature like this if it wasn't really ready. So I'll be curious to see what ends up happening. It's been a few months since these iPhones have been out, and there's still a few more issues Apple needs to kind of fix. So I'm still going to be sticking around for it. I'm going to be very curious to see what happens there, but that pretty much covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.